This week it will be our periodical exam, third quarter. Okay. Okay, so another Wednesday evening once again. Rainy evening, rainy Wednesday evening. So it has been raining earlier. I got wet from the rain actually. I went to school. We were asked to go to school. And then when I went home, I was soaked because of the rain. So I do not know the weather actually from morning, it's very hot, and then in the evening, it will start to fall. Okay. So today we will continue with our lesson, but same with our English class, I will try to talk to Sir Harry about that one, okay? So I will try to ask from him some guide wherein that will be what we are going to use when we are going to have our lessons every day. I read I'm away, that is why I said every way. Okay, so can I just simply take a screenshot first of those students present? So we have a new student, John Henry and Leticia Manuron. Are they new? Same with Orlodo, Orlodo. I do not know. Good evening. Welcome to our class. So this is actually the elementary math class. Okay. So we are going to have some lessons wherein we try to get a little bit higher math from the secondary, from the junior math, right? So last meeting, not last week, but last meeting, we were able to continue with the sets. So sets can have also type of sets, can be there is this sets, and then there is this subsets. There are so many symbols, right? There are some symbols wherein it actually tells us that this is actually an equal set, like something like that. And then what else? When you talk about set is actually written in what? In capital letter, right? It is written in capital letter. And then what is inside the parenthesis or the bracket? Those are what we call the elements of the set. So I think, if I am not mistaken, you still remember our lesson last time. I am not sure, but let me have another one. Okay. So this is another, actually I tried to find some videos wherein you will be able to watch the video regarding sets. Okay, introduction of sets, sets and subsets. This one. So this is actually the 4 basic concepts of sets. This one. Can you see this? So this is actually a PowerPoint presentation taken from the internet. Okay, it's a PowerPoint presentation taken from the internet. So there are 4 basic concepts that include sets and its basic operations, relations, functions, and binary operations. So we first went to sets and its basic operations. We know what is sets. What are the examples of sets? There are 2 types of sets, the finite set and the infinite set. Remember, alphabet, when you say all the letters in the alphabet, we call that one as finite set, because we all know that there are 26 letters in the alphabet, right? So these are examples, a set of counting numbers from 1 to 10, this one, a set of English alphabet from A to C, and a set of integers. An integer is any whole number or real number, okay? Any real numbers, which is actually a whole number. It can be a negative and a positive number, okay? So this is X is an element of S. This symbol is actually what you call the symbol for element. This is actually the symbol for element. And then this symbol, the element which has a bracket, a diagonal bracket, is what you call not an element of S. Okay? So what is an element of S? So what is an element of a set? An element of a set pertains to each member of the set. For example, set A. Set A, so the elements of set A are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So all the letters that you can see inside the parentheses or the bracket, these are all the elements of A. Elements, again, can be a number. Elements can be a thing, right? Before we have that one. And then elements can be some symbols, okay? And then this one, I told you earlier that this actually is a notation, which means an element or it is an item that belongs to a set. An element or an item that belongs to a set. So 1 is an element of A because you can see 1 here. 3 is an element of A. 3 is present here. 5 is an element of A because 5 is can be seen here, but 6 is not an element of A because you cannot see 6 inside the parenthesis or the bracket. And then there are some different terminologies again. Unit set. Unit set is a set that contains only one element. Only one. If you can see a set which actually has one element, we call that one as unit set. Unit set. Okay. And then empty set or null set, this is actually the symbol, the circle with a diagonal line. That is actually a set that has no element. That is actually a symbol or a notation for a set that has no element. So this is how we illustrate it. A is equals to just simply the bracket. There is no other element inside the parenthesis or the bracket because that is what you call the empty set or null set. A set of 7 yellow Carabao. Okay. So terminologies of sets. I told you earlier about this one, the finite set. Finite set is a set which elements are countable. Which elements we know that, for example, we are going to write the elements which are our fingers in one hand, fingers in one hand. So how many fingers do you see in one hand? There are actually 5 fingers. What are those fingers? The thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. Okay? So these are these are the elements of one hand. So that is what you call finite set. We can count the hand or the fingers in each hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So when we are going to illustrate it, A is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set B is equals to A, B, C, D. Infinite set. From the word infinite set, we cannot count the numbers or the elements are not countable or it has no end. The elements is not countable or it has no end. For example, like this one, set of counting numbers from negative numbers to positive numbers. It can even go up to millions. Negative numbers and positive numbers. And then cardinal number, which has a notation of small letter n. Small letter n. Cardinal number means total number of the elements in a set. Cardinal number means total number of the elements in a set. So how many cardinal numbers is in set A? We have 4 cardinal numbers. Why? Because when we count all of these numbers inside the set, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So this is what you call the cardinal number. And then for set B, how many cardinal number? We have 3 because there are 3 elements in set B. Equal set. So 2 sets are said to be equal. Take note. 2 sets are said to be equal if and only if. Take note, this if, IFF, it is actually a shortcut for if and only if the equal number of cardinality and the elements are identical. So if you look at it, set A and set B, the total number, they have the same total number, which is 5. Okay, 5 elements inside the set, and then if you look at the elements, each of the element, they are just identical. Look at that. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Same with here. You can also see the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, A and B are equal sets. Equivalent set. By the way, are you taking notes? Are you taking notes? Are you even trying to screenshot?
No, this is I did, but it's a bit different because this is my note. It's right here.
Wow.
Write itself. Write whatever it
It's a good
says.
thing that Mark, you may have a photographic memory. Is it true?
Yes,
Oh,
but the
very
but the
good.
minus but the cons is it can be forgotten easily.
Okay. So in order for you not to forget it easily, you tend to take a screenshot so that when you go back to it, you can still remember. Okay. How about the others? So it is getting easier, right? Last time we find it difficult, and then I've get you another set of examples, and then another like this. Then you slowly get the idea, right? So this is, we are done with the equal set. Now we are going to proceed with the equivalent set. Okay, what is equivalent set? Equivalent set, 2 sets are said to be equivalent if the sets have the exact number of elements. There is a 1-to-1 correspondence. Okay, look at this. There are actually 2 sets, set A and set B. Inside the set A, there are actually 5 elements. Inside the set B, there are also 5 elements. So because of the total number, because they have the same total number inside the set, they can be considered as equivalent set because of the 1-to-1 correspondence. So A can be for 1, 2 for B, 3 for C, 4 for D, or 5 for E. Something like that. So they are equivalent. And then universal set, we know this one before, right? Universal set is the set of all elements under discussion. Okay, for example, the English alphabet. English alphabet starts from letter A and ends with letter Z. So that is what you call a universal set, right? Those elements are actually the elements or the total number of alphabets. These alphabets will not be considered as universal if there is one alphabet missing. So we should write all the elements of the English alphabet. Take note, the three small dots. It actually tells us that this is the continuance, right? We are going to, from letter D, we will continue up to letter Z. And then we do not know, yes, this one, joint sets yet. We were not able to have this one before, right? Joint sets. So two sets, say A, B, are said to be joint if and only if they have common elements. Okay, look at this. They can be considered as joint sets. Example, the two sets, the set A and the set B. For set A, there are actually three elements, namely 1, 2, and 3. For set B, there are also three elements, namely 2, 4, 6. They are considered as joint sets since you can find a common element inside the sets, and that is actually the set or the element 2. That is actually the element 2. Look at this. For set A, there is this element 2. For set B, there is also this element 2. That is why they are considered as joint sets. Again, disjoint sets. Two sets, say A and B, are said to be disjoint if and only if they are mutually exclusive or they don't have common elements. Okay. So set A and set B, set A has 3 elements, set B has also 3 elements. But if you look at the elements inside the set A as well as the elements inside the set B, there is no common element. That is why they are considered as disjoint set.
What do you mean? A common.
Huh?
What did Miss Amira mean about common elements?
Come again. Common elements? Okay. When you say common elements, you can find it from set A and you can also find it in set B. But if you look at the disjoint sets, there is no such thing as common. There is no one in set A, there is element 1, but in set B, there is no element 1. In set A, there is element 2, but in set B, there is no element 2. In set A, there is an element 3, but it said in set B, there is no element 3. That is why there is no common element. You got that one, Mark? How about the others? Blue.
Understand.
Okay. So, we have here the two ways of describing a set by roster or tabular method. By roster or tabular method. Roster or tabular method, it is done by listing or tabulating the elements of the set. It is done by listing or tabulating the elements of the set. You're going to make a table. You are like this. For example, in set A, there are elements 2, 4, 6. In set B, there are elements A, B, D, E, H, and I. And then in set C, there will be elements blue, red, and yellow. Blue, red, and yellow. So you actually list all the elements of the set. You actually list all the elements of the set. But by rule or set builder method, it is done by stating or describing the common characteristics of the elements of the set. We use the notation A is an element A. Okay, set A. X is an element of X if and only if. That is what Mark has been. He has been what do you call this, Mark? You said it's very difficult, right? Regarding the set builder notation or the set builder method, when you are going to describe it, it can be a little bit difficult. So I myself, I find it difficult to at least teach this one to you, because I know that you will get a little bit bored since you cannot actually grasp the idea yet. But by this roster or tabular method, I know that you can actually easily follow this one, right? But most of the time, when you look at some books, they are actually using rule or set builder method. That is why we cannot remove this one. We need to introduce this one so that you will have an idea. For example, how do we illustrate the rule or set builder method? When you talk about the set A is actually an X is an element of X is a counting number from 1 to 5. Okay? Set BX is an element of X in an English alphabet. Okay, that is how you say it, but it can be a little bit difficult for now, but later on you will be able to understand it. And then this one. This is how we are going to use the roster or tabular method, as well as the set or a rule or set builder method. Rule or set builder method, this is how we write it, or wherein when we talk about listing method or roster method, this is how we write it. So when I ask you between the two methods, which do you think can be easier for you?
I don't know about a roster method or listing. I
Yeah,
think
the roster
the
method.
set builder is easier.
Yeah. Set builder can be a little bit difficult for now, but you can easily follow the listing method or roster method, because we are only listing all the letters of all the elements. Okay, so look at this. A is an element. Set A is equals to X is an element of X, is a letter of the word Pacific. So this is how we write it. Set A is equals to, write all the letters that you can see in the word Pacific, but do not rewrite the letters, or do not rewrite the letters such as the I and the C. Do not make it double. Just write it once. Set B, Y is an element of Y is a number such that Y squared is equals to 64. So B is equals, set B is equals to -8 and +8. So when you are going to make Y become sure negative, Y is equals to -8, and then you are going to square Y, -8 squared, it will give us 64. Same with 8 squared will also give us 64. So set C, Z is a multiple, Z is an element of Z, is a multiple of 3 and is less than 16. So that is how we are going to write it. Multiple of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 4, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. These are all multiples of 3, but there is this condition. We will start with 3 itself and then less than 16, which is the number less than 16 is 15. Then we are done with this one. Then we will continue with the subsets. So some of you already have this one, right? The subset, this is the notation for subset. A subset A is a subset of B, means that every element of A is also an element of B. Just like equal set, right? Equal set, they are just the same. If X is an element of A, then X is also an element of B. So in a particular, every set is a subset of itself. A is a subset of A. A subset is called a proper subset. A subset is called a proper subset. A is a proper subset of B if there is at least one element of B that is not in A. If there is at least one element of B that is not in A. Okay, so this is proper subset. So we have 4 elements in A and we have 5 or 6 elements in B. So according to the definition of proper subset, A is a proper subset of B if there is at least one element of B that is not in A. So if you are going to look at it, there are actually 2 elements in B that is not in A. Therefore, A is a proper subset of B. Okay? A is a proper subset of B. The elements 1, 3, 5, and 7, they are all in B except for elements 9 and 11. Okay? So every element of A is an element of B. There is at least one element in B that is not an element of A. And then the empty or null set is a subset of every set. The empty or null set is a subset of every set. The number of subsets of a given set is given by 2 raised to the power of n. N is the number of elements of the given set. How do we illustrate it? How many subsets are there in the set? There are actually what? There are actually 8 subsets. So what are we going to do? The number of elements is actually 3. This is the formula. 2 raised to 3 would give us 8. How did we do that? 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. That is why we have an answer of 8 subsets. Okay? So we have 3 elements. And then based on the formula of empty or null set, we have this formula 2 raised to the power of n to find the number of subsets of a given set. Okay, this one. With one element, 1, 2, 3. With 2 elements, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 2 and 3. With 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. With no element, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Then ordered pair. Okay, why is it that all of you turned your video off? Hello? Should I also turn off my video? Because all
Yeah,
of
why
you...
not?
Yeah. I cannot see. Where is Mark? I cannot see Mark. Only Mark and Honey did not close. No. Mark's video is also closed. Okay, I hope that you are going to turn on your video. I think you are not actually interested. Okay, before I proceed, what happened? Why do you kept on turning off your video? Are you doing something aside from listening?
I did listening.
Just simply listening but not actually trying to learn? Just a
No,
part.
I'm just trying to remember things.
Hmm?
I'm
Okay.
just trying to remember.
You are just trying to remember. Thank you, Mark, for being honest. How about the others? I think some of you are getting bored. I do not know. Would you like me to call you, each and every one of you, to at least answer or read so that I will be able to know what you like to do in our class? It has been observed that some of
Yeah,
you... Yes, Mark?
I was thinking that if if that math is kind of bored, oh yeah, what do I say here?
Yeah, what is it? Okay,
Oh,
continue.
never mind.
Okay. Actually, it's a good thing, Mark, that you are sharing your views. But how about the others? They do not actually talk. They just simply look at me. I think they did not miss me before when I was not around for 2 days. Nobody even tried.
I think
Uh,
they're just trying to focus by not talking.
they are just simply trying to focus. It's a good thing if that is actually what they are doing. But by turning off your camera, we all know that we should open our camera, right? So that I will see if you are still listening. If Sir Harry is with us today, he will ask you to open your camera, right? So it is much better to at least when I am actually talking here, you try to write something so that you will be able to remember. It's just good if you have this photographic memory wherein you can easily remember the lessons, okay? But wait a minute. Okay. But if you are not very sure about whether you like mathematics or what, I advise you to take note. When I was young, I used to take note. Every time my teacher uh, will actually have the lesson, and then there are some terminologies with which I am not really familiar with, or I cannot actually understand. Then I will actually write it down on my notebook, and then later on, I will have to find an encyclopedia. Before, we do not have the Google, right? We only have the encyclopedia or the dictionary. So I will have to go.
I think there is still I think there is like another searching.
What other is that a new
I think I think
application?
even uh what what year is it? Is it 19 what?
Okay. But when I was young, I studied my elementary years at about 1980s. So you are not,
1980s.
yeah. So there
Because I'm
is no
thinking there is
such thing
still
as
like a World
computer.
Wide Web,
Yeah.
a World Wide Web which can be discovered, and not the first internet.
Yeah, there is no internet before. There is only the telephone, the landline, but it can be quite expensive to have that kind of um, gadget in your house. So that is why an average family, same with my family, we are only average. We cannot afford that one. So we only rely on the library as well as the encyclopedia. So that is why when you do not know anything or you tend to get shy and ask your teacher about it, you may write it down, and then you may also go and look it up on the internet. It can be very easy. Okay? I hope that you will be able to engage and participate in our class. You I am getting, actually I myself is questioning myself what to do anymore. I've been trying to uh, teach in a way that I do not want you to get bored, but yet I think you are getting bored, right? You are getting bored. I do not know. I am planning to have a lesson with which you still do not know yet, so that we will be able to discover ahead so that we can be ahead in, yes. Yes, Mark.
So when there's a math, yeah, it's kind of boring, but it can be a little fun. But when there's an exam math, I'm going to get bored. So bored
That's right.
because of
Mathematics can
exam.
be very difficult, right? We may agree, you may agree with me that mathematics can be very difficult, but if you really love mathematics or you try to love mathematics, you will surely enjoy mathematics, right?
Yeah, but but when there's an exam, mathematics exam, it
Okay.
is
What lesson do you have now in school, Mark, in your mathematics subject?
last lesson was 2D, like a 2D shape, and now is 3D shape.
Okay, the 2D shapes such as the
Block,
circle,
cylinder,
square,
ball.
yeah, circle, square, rhombus, something like diamond. These are 2D, right? But the 3D, they can be pyramid, they can be cylinder, right? Do you remember? They can be called as box. They can be called as rhombus, something like that. So these are all 3Ds. Okay. So at least I will know. Okay, how about the Raka? What is your math? What is the lesson? The lesson for your mathematics subject?
In my school, I learned about probabilities.
So you're in statistics and probability. So by getting chances, something like that, you have this lotto. What will be the chances that you are going to win? Is
Yeah.
that it? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Daraka. How about Inda? How about Inda? In your school, Inda, what was your lesson in your school for mathematics? So that we will have a lesson with which it can help you with your lesson.
About data presentation.
Come again?
Data presentation and also diagram.
Diagram, presentation. So are you done? Are you all done with fraction?
Yes.
Fraction. How about the others? Okay, presentation, diagram, Venn diagram. Is it Venn diagram in that? Or just simply as diagram?
Simply like diagram.
Okay, can you give us an example regarding the diagrams? What do you do with the diagram, etc.? Are you going to name the sides, the something like that, the lines, the point? Is that it? Are you going to find the vertex? Is that it? Or are you going to draw something from the, for example, your performance test would become, for example, do you have this triangle with you? Then you, in cardboard paper, you will write um, four, four triangles back, up and down, and then cut it down, and then you will be able to make a 3D already. Is that it? Is that how you do it? I think you're already in 7th grade, Inda, or 6th grade?
6th grade teacher.
Same Karaka. So I think that is also connected with the with Mark. Mark is actually regarding the different shapes, the 2D and the 3D. So you are also in related with the subject taken or the lessons being discussed with Mark's.
3D is harder than 2D. Not even mention
Yeah.
even a 4D.
So you are going to find the
I
area
don't know
and the
if it's
volume.
4D, but I think that will be 4 dimension shape. I'm feeling it's going to be super hard, super long.
So far, I did not encounter yet the 4-dimensional. I
What
only
about
encountered the
dimension? 5D. 5D.
that can be quite hard, right? Okay.
Mm.
So we will try to discuss subjects or topics which is actually in line with your subject. Okay, so that it can be actually one of the things that can help you. How about Shitya? Shitya, what are the lessons that you have, or what is your lesson nowadays in mathematics?
Cubes.
Cubes. So cube is another 3 diagram, right,
There's a
Mark?
block, there's a cube, there's a ball,
Ah,
there's a what is that?
diamond.
Pyramid, and
Yeah.
etc. etc.
Etc. etc. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Shita. How about honey? How about honey? What is your lesson for mathematics? The lessons that you are taking up right now in mathematics. Are you also discussing about the 3-dimensional shape, something like that?
Or maybe 4-dimensional. Wow!
Or maybe 4-dimensional according to Mark. Okay, how about the statistics, or according to in the what is that, diagram?
Yes.
So you are same with in that. So we will try to have that one. So those with common subjects or lessons, we will have that one, okay? So that it can help them or it can help you. Okay, this is what I am going to ask you. If we are going to do that, please take note, okay? You need to take note so that your teacher will be amazed that you studied advanced. You can even share to me some of the lessons if you'd like, so that we can try to discuss it with you during our lesson time. If maybe teacher Samira, these will be the lessons that we are going to have. For example, what are the topics? Okay, then we will try to have that one. We will try to discuss that one so that you will be able to study in advance. You will have an idea ahead of time, right? So that is actually the purpose of this mathematics. Sir Harry actually have this mathematics class in order for you to be able to study some lessons with which you were not able to discuss yet, or it was not yet taught to you, because he wanted you to at least have an advanced study regarding the specific lessons in mathematics. Okay, so you can try to send me some messages here in chat box, and then tell me the lessons that you had so that we can discuss that one next meeting. I will discuss those lessons with which more students are going to take. For example, regarding the diagrams, there are in 12 students, there are actually 6 students who are going to discuss that one. That are to have that lesson. Okay, so that will be what we are going to discuss next meeting. Okay, somebody sent me, Mark. I am learning exponent of 3. Oh, okay. So exponent, so algebra, right? Pre-algebra.
It's kind of hard because it
Do
has
you know
what
the meaning of
instead of
exponent?
exponent.
How does an exponent works? When you
Yeah, I
say
know.
exponent, that is how many times you are going to multiply the learning probabilities. Oh, okay. So actually, Daraka, if you uh if you may know, I am actually
We need
teaching
like exponent
probabilities right
tree.
now
We need to
about
learn exponent
diagram.
tree if we want to do like 3D shapes.
3D shapes. So data
And there could be
presentation
4D
and
shapes and
diagram.
exponent of 4.
Multiplying fractions. Oh, okay. Multiplying fractions, Nayaka. When you are going to multiply fractions, take note. You should know where is your numerator as well as your denominator. So by simply multiplying fractions, numerator multiplied by numerator and denominator multiplied by denominator. How about if we are talking about a fraction and a whole number? You only have to multiply the numerator to the whole number and leave the denominator as it is. So we are going to have that one. Okay? So as for now, only one is talking about fraction, one about diagram, one about probabilities, and one about exponent. So who else would like to send us?
We learn about exponent of 3 because we're learning 3D shapes.
You are learning about 3D shapes. Okay. So who is going to break the tie? So if any one of those lessons will have another student who will wanted to who wants to have that certain topic to be discussed next week, then you need to write it now so that I will be able to prepare. Okay? So far 1:1. 1 for exponent, 1 for diagram, 1 for probability, and 1 for fraction. So we're still waiting. Okay, so while waiting, we may as well discuss this one, okay? Just simply listen and do not close your camera. Okay, so when we...
You mean I will close my face to the camera? Okay.
Oh, no, do not close your camera. Do not close your camera. Okay, look at this. So we will continue while I'm still waiting. There is no chat yet. Who will break the tie? So we are talking about ordered pair here. So given elements A and B, the symbol A, B. So inside the parentheses, there are actually an ordered pair. These are actually the elements A and B. It denotes the ordered pair consisting of A and B together. A is the first element or B is the second element. Most often, we write the ordered elements or the ordered pair as X and Y. Remember? The ordered pair as X and Y. X will be the first element while Y will be the second element. Remember that one? So two ordered pairs AB and CD are equal if and only if A is equals to C and B is equals to D. So if A is equals to C and B is equals to D, then they are called equal. Okay, and then by symbol, we write this as an element ordered pair AB is equals to element CD or ordered pair CD means that A is equals to C and B is equals to D. If we are going to illustrate it using number, if A is equals to 3 and B is equals to 2, okay, this one, then C can also be equal to 3 and B, which is 2, can also be equal to D. If we are asked to evaluate, find X and Y if for X plus 3, 3Y is equals to 3X plus 5 minus 2. Okay, so 4X plus 3 is equals to 3X plus 5. 4X minus 3X is equals to 5 minus 3. 3, when we transpose 3 to the other side, since it is positive here, then it will become negative on the other side. So 4x minus 3x, we all know that it will become x, and 5 minus 3 will become 2. And then y is equals to negative 2. Okay, this one. Y, and then this one is negative 2. So this must be B, this must be D. So y therefore is equals to negative 2. So something like that. Okay. Did somebody send us message already or not yet? So you can write, shit yeah, honey, you can write. Maybe that will help Inda or Daraka. If you are going to write the lesson that you wanted us to take next week. Can you give me an example of your topic in that? So this intersection of sets, we know this one, the union of sets, we know that one. The difference of sets, we already have this one, right? As well as the complement of sets. So this has been discussed last time already. Okay. Oh, I received learning multiplying fractions. Wow. We live in 3D block. It's still Mark. Nobody even sent a message. Okay. Let me try to discuss it with Inda by simply trying to find the data presentation. Is that one of the lesson for your mathematics, Inda?
What, teacher?
Data presentation. It's still in mathematics, right? Inda? We're talking mathematics here, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so how do we? I will just simply try to, because the data presentation here is actually using some bar charts, something like that. They are using diagrams, right? Is that it in that? For example, this one, I will try to share this one so that they will know what we are actually trying to tell them. This one. Do we have it like this regarding the presentation? Do you use pie chart or diagram, or bar bar chart, something like that, such as this one?
Yes, like that.
Okay. So what
And also pie charts.
pie chart? Yes, pie chart. Okay. So what do you think is actually making it a little bit difficult for you to understand? This one, pie chart, right? So pie chart,
Yes.
for example, we have one circle. You are going to get the percentage. Is that it? So we were given some data here, and then you are going to write it down in a pie chart. For example, in a pie chart, we're going to have this. Can you give me an example so that we will try to discuss it here? Let me try to have this. this one. Then we will write lines.
In bar chart, I count mean, median, range, and mode.
So same with the RACA, regarding the mean, median, and mode. That is actually regarding the statistics, right? So mean, median, and mode. Mode, when you say mode, these are all the numbers with which you can find it the most numbered or the most common number in the data given to you. For example, you were given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the mode will be 5 because there are 3, 5, and there are only one any other number. So the most common one, right? And then the mean is actually simply the average. For example, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. So 15, 7, 15, 20, 30, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you are going to divide it. You can simply get the average. That will be your mean. And then the median, that will be the center. Remember? So we will try to have that one. I will try to give you that one. The mean, median, and the mode. I am simply giving you some ideas in getting the mean, median, and mode. So these are the examples of pie chart, right? It can be applied in anything actually. Histogram can be found in the statistics. This is how we write histogram. This one. Okay. This one, data presentation templates. So this is what you are actually having now, right? Wow. So at least we know. So we will try to have that one. So the RACA in the Shitya and Honey, you can actually relate to this one. Do you have some questions? Excuse me, by the way. Yeah, I have an itchy throat, actually. It has been like this for 1 week already. Do you have some questions? No more questions? How about the others? Orlodo, Orlodo? I did not see the face of Orlodo yet. Same with Leticia Manuron. So we have two new students and I was not able to see their face yet. Okay, so it's already 8 p.m. So I will try to have a lesson regarding the data presentation, the statistics and probability, the mean, median, and mode, right? So we will have that one next meeting. And then for the English class, we are going back to the basic. I will have to tell that to Sir Harry. Okay? And then I will have to stop this one.